Hello, welcome back to Manga Boy and his Zatch Belt 2 Chapter 8 review. I was sick with the laryngitis, so you wouldn't be able to hear me. We came out the week after was Thanksgiving. I was busy. Now we got this week, and then now we got Zatch Belt 2 Chapter 8. Here we go. We pick up with Folgore just like we left off. He's doing a concert. He's loving it, but who's that in the crowd? It's a familiar face. Or is it? We think it's Kanchome, but it's not Kanchome. It's actually his younger brother. His name is actually Kanchome, I believe is how you say it. Not quite sure if that's the exact correct pronunciation, but he loves donut. And Kanchome, as you guys all have memorized by now, loves candy. So they're eating the candy, or the donut, and Folgore's like, where's your big brother? I want to see Kanchome, not Consomme. Consomme suck. And he's like, oh, big brother Kanchome said he wants to go get the candy. So he said donut over here. So that's where I went, looking for you instead for the donut. And Folgore's like, what? Why would Kanchome do that? Thinking maybe he doesn't want to see him. Who knows? Could be. And we see Kyo and Zatch talking to each other about Kanchome as well. They are at some sort of a cafe. It looks like they're at the airport cafe, but it's kind of hard to know without the context there. And he's like, Zatch, what does Kanchome look like? And Zatch is like, interesting. And he's like, interesting? He's like, yeah, he grew tall. He's all grown up, real tall. He's like, what? He's like, that's him right there. He shows me a picture of him on switch back to Consomme. And he looks goofy AF, okay? This is I can't even believe it. And Folgore can't either because he's dying laughing, just like me, dying laughing at this thing. It is too funny. And Consomme's like, shut the fuck up, that's my brother. And he's like, oh, it's okay. He's like, I wish I could have seen the real Kanchome, though. I miss him. I love him. He's my Kanchome boy. Cut the Kanchome. Kanchome fighting these two guys. One looks like Mihawk. One looks like a little girl. I don't know if it's a girl or boy. Could be either one. Anyways, she's got these little hair bins, like kind of like Princess Leia does. And she like lets him go. When she does that, she turns into kind of like a werewolf, and she says a Gozer, which is the demon from Ghostbusters, if you didn't know that. So that happens, and she's like, don't make this harder than it needs to be, and she attacked Kanchome. Kanchome has this little pocket thing, this little pot full of spells. He opens it up, boop, and he goes, Poruku, and he transforms. But, he can only do so much because they say that these vial of spells are like an unrefined version of the spell, and they only have a limited amount of uses. So I guess you can't use them too much. It's not like the spell bottle things. So interesting that they have those because pretty useful. Anyways, about that. We keep running away with Kanchome and cut back to Consomme, okay? Folgore and Kanchome are here in this beautiful, beautiful mansion where Folgore lives. And he's like, this is Kanchome's old room. You can stay here, Consomme. And Consomme is like so small he could like fit into the little drawer. But whatever. Anyways, cut back to Kanchome, and he is getting all beat up, obviously. Doesn't stand too much of a chance, and he is, super injured. They're thinking he doesn't have much longer, but if we all remember Kanchome, he's got goddamn goals. He's got sight. He's gonna win this, but how? Anyways, we think back to Kanchome and his family and how he has to protect his brother at all costs, and cut back to the real world. This is happening now. The vial is empty, and he says that these guys took away his family, so he's going to take them down. He gets out of the way, and a huge train/bus just nails this person yelling Gozer over and over again. And he's like, oh, a bear! Why is there a bear on the train tracks? It came out of nowhere. So he used like a mirror to make it look like, there was no train coming. But in fact, there was a train coming. The train crashes through the mirror, gives him a big shockaroni. So Kanchome's like, got this stuff back. This idiot just got hit by a train. They can't survive. But pull out the briefcase. What do we see? We see one of Tia's spells, Saifogio, which is one of her ultimate healing spells. It pulls out, heals this Gozer person, and he goes, that's Tia's spell. These guys, and he's crying. So it makes me think maybe Tia's dead? I don't know. Anyways, Gozer Lady's back up, cuts off a little hair, and the thing goes off on its own. It looks like a little demon dog thing, and they also cast Doruku on it, which again is just like a common transforming spell. So it could be Tia's spell because obviously Tia's not the only healer, but really hard to say. Anyways, Kanchome is pretty much thinking it's over now, but he said that his life, all he could do is run, and like at least he got to protect his brother, and he'll be okay with Folgore. However, obviously he doesn't want to die. He wants to see Folgore again. So what does he do? Well, he does the best thing he can. Okay, he starts saying Iron Man Folgore, Invincible Folgore, and what happens but the main man himself, our hero, Folgore, shows up, ripped AF. This dude just rah, like a dog. He's like, stop your fucking biting. What's in your mouth? It's like, that's my friend Kanchome in your mouth. Anyways, so he comes in, he stops the dog from chewing on Kanchome like a chew toy. He's super strong. He's fighting him off. He's the Iron Man. He's the Invincible. He's Folgore. And he's just too strong. And he's always his strongest when he's protecting the children. And it kind of ends off there. Super good chapter. I really enjoyed it. I was, opened up the chapter and I like quickly scanned through it to see if it was a new one when it came out. And I was like, oh my God, Kanchome looks like shit. But I was really happy with what he, what we saw of Kanchome, because he actually has a really cool kind of character progression since we last saw him. Very happy with that. Whole chapter as a whole I was happy with, because Folgore and Kanchome should always be this comic relief. That's them. However, they're also badasses, and so to have them still retain both of those qualities, fresh of breath air, well actually fresh of stale air, very repeated air, because this is home. This is what I miss. Okay, and I cannot believe that Kanchome's family looks the exact same as Kanchome. They even have like the same kind of like clothes that he had when he was a kid. But his parents, his mom and his dad, like respected individuals, but they're still like at the duck bill. Anyways, really did enjoy the chapter a lot. Obviously, I think where it's leading to is Kyo and Zatch are headed to, get Kanchome and Folgore, as they kind of alluded to beforehand. And they'll meet up. They'll probably beat these guys. I don't think Folgore and Kanchome are going to defeat them on their own. I do think Zatch is going to show up and help them fight them. But hard to know, maybe a third party will show up while they're doing this, because I think after they find Kanchome, there's not any direction to go for from there. I could be wrong. Anyways, let me know down below what you guys think about this chapter and about what's going to happen. Next chapter should be out in like a week or two now, probably. So I guess I don't have to wait too long to think about that and get that answered. And how about that pot of spells? That is pretty handy, huh? Pretty cool stuff. Please comment, like the video down below. And if you enjoyed it and you want to see the next one, please subscribe for more. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.